This cruise ship behind me is the ugliest cruise ship in the world, but what's worse is that it gets horrendously bad reviews. So we've done something crazy and booked a 10-night cruise on this bad boy.
It's going to need more than a lick of paint to fix this ship.
Join us to see if it's dirty, overcrowded and completely dated. Honestly, I've got to say I'm just shocked. Should you judge a book by the cover or trust the online reviews? Well, we're going to find out together. Let's get on, shall we? I'm a little bit nervous. Welcome to Rome. It's boarding day for our cruise and I'm super excited because we're going to get on the cruise. I'm a little bit nervous because this ship, like we said, has got proper mixed reviews. Now, we stayed in Rome last night. We flew over from the UK. We recommend that always, just because if your flight gets cancelled, you're going to be pretty much screwed and not be able to get on the cruise. So we stayed in Rome, but the actual cruise goes from Civitavecchia. So if you didn't know, that's quite far from here. It's about an hour away. So you've got to get a very expensive taxi or take a train, which takes about an hour, but it only costs €4. So let's go do that. Let's go get on the ship. I'm super excited to see what she's like on the outside and the inside. So come with us. Let's get on the cruise. Super excited. The journey was really simple. It was about a 5-minute walk from our hotel to the station. It's a massive station. The platform is miles away as well. So if you're planning the same journey, get there nice and early. When we got there, we booked a taxi using the Free Now app. We were quoted €15, but when we tried to get into the taxi, the driver demanded €35 from us. So we refused and didn't get in the car. Then we booked another taxi where it did cost €15 and boarding the ship was quite easy, but there was a huge line for those without baggage luggage tags, so make sure you print them before you get on the ship. And there was also quite a big check-in for security, but it moved nice and quickly and we were on the ship in no time. Ooh, we're finally on board. What is this? This is not what I expected at all. It's very dark, guys. And what's got me first of all is how low the roofs are. So the ceilings, like, I can touch them, which is really, really weird. I'm 6'2", but I'm like, can put my whole palm on the ceiling, which is very strange indeed. I don't know if I like it. It looks like a ferry. That's what it looks like. It doesn't look like a Norwegian ship at all. I'm a little bit shooketh. So just to preface this, we haven't looked inside the ship on YouTube or anything. We've done a bit of research about the ship so we know what we're talking about. Like, she carries 4,000 people and she's a one-of-a-kind ship, which we're going to go into more detail later on, and why they never made any more of these ships. I mean, on first impressions, I can see why. It is very, very quiet up here, but it's absolutely rammed on the deck below. So let's go have a little walk around and see what we think. Right, we'll take it in with me. But yeah, this is not what I expected at all. It's so different. It looks really small.
Just coming into the shopping area, and I think the thing that makes it feel like a ferry, like Ben said, is the fact the roofs are so low and it all looks a bit bland. I can't explain it. I don't know when this ship was built, but she looks very dated and very
2010.
old. No.
Yes, so she's not even that old.
Are you kidding?
No, 2010.
Oh, I'd say like she looks about 2005, 2000s.
Oh, I didn't want to say it, but I'm getting Margaritaville vibes. Oh my gosh, it is hilarious. I feel like we're being transported to the past. I don't know what it is, guys. It's a bit rough around the edges, if I'm honest. I've read that a lot of people are saying that she is desperately in need of an update. She hasn't had any sort of really big refreshment since 2020, when basically all they did was fix the Haven area. Now that's the suite only area, so they ripped out all of the cabins and everything in those areas, but didn't do much here. But we're coming up on the central atrium area, and this does look a bit like the Breakaway class of ships, so there are other cruise ships, but again, the roofs are just so low. It's really weird. Oh, I can see the casino as well, and it looks absolutely huge. We're on deck 7 at the moment, and the casino's on deck 6, so the deck below us, and it looks literally, I think, like it's the whole blooming deck. How crazy is that?
So now this looks like the Norwegian cruises that we know, although it feels off. So it feels like a Temu version of a Norwegian cruise ship where it looks the same, but it's just slightly different. It's slightly off. It's not quite right.
Did you say the Temu version?
Yeah, it does look like a Temu version of a Norwegian cruise ship.
AliExpress.
Exactly, yeah.
Or if Wish did cruise ships by Norwegian, this would be it.
You know, it's not quite on brand, but it's just as good.
It's a knockoff. It's a fake.
Basically, yeah, because that atrium looks really nice, but I've just noticed as well is the dining room's on the ground floor. Really strange. So you've got like the dining room on the ground floor, then the casino like Ben mentioned, and then the bars on the top. Bit strange having the casino so open and over the dining room. I wonder if it's going to be a smelly casino. I mean, at the moment it smells okay, can't really smell smoke, so hopefully it's not a smoking casino once we set off and people are starting to use it and smoking. Otherwise it's going to get really smelly in here. But it feels strange because it's kind of like a Norwegian, it's kind of like the breakaway class. Like just behind me we've got the ice bar and stuff, so it's like I'm on the breakaway class, but not quite. Very odd indeed.
I'm a little bit confuzzled.
Yeah, and it's also quite cramped as well, so I can already see the bars and they look really small.
Should just came out the way now, guys, because we've just walked through one of the only bars we've seen open so far. Oh my gosh, it is rammed. There's not a seat anywhere. There are huge lines for all of the bars. I haven't quite seen anything like this before because the boarding process, as we said, was quite smooth. All of the venues, like the clubs, so you've got the Cavern Club, which we've just walked past, are very, very small. They look like they only hold a few hundred people, so I wonder what it's going to be like on a very busy cruise. Our cruise has sold out, so it is at chock-a-block capacity, as we say in the UK, so we're going to explore this and see what it's like. But I am seeing similarities now. The back of the ship, where you've got Moderno's specialty restaurant, as well as Cagney's, which is the steakhouse, looks very similar because it overlooks the Manhattan dining room. That's one of the main dining rooms on board, and it's at the back of the ship, just like on the other ship. So there are some weird similarities. It's all very, very strange. I can't quite tell you what it feels like. It's just all a little bit off. Dark and small. Very strange indeed.
I'm gonna go down a deck to see what's down here. I actually did just check if I had my sunglasses still on my face. That's how dark this ship is.
Well, this is the thing about cameras, David. It makes it look like you're super bright right now, but because the camera's trying to compensate, that's what it looks like in real life. So this is how dark it is. That's how dark your face looks right now. So a bit crazy, isn't it?
So top tip, bring a flashlight. Another thing we've noticed, which is really strange, is that the lifts are split across each side of the ship, so there's no main lift lobby. So on one side is the lifts, then there's a bar, and then the other set of lifts. I'm guessing they're separately operated, like you can't just wait for a lift on one side and it might pop up on the other. That's going to make it difficult because we know what lifts are like on cruise ships at the best of times, and if you've got lifts on either end, it means that you've only got 4 to choose from at a time. It's going to be really busy.
Weirdly, this deck is really quiet because there's nothing really on it apart from a casino, guys. I've never seen anything quite like it. It goes from literally one end of the ship right to the other. It's absolutely blooming huge and it stinks. And again, it's just so dark. It feels like I'm in Vegas or somewhere. Oh my gosh, I wasn't prepared for this. I just thought it was going to be another Norwegian ship. I don't know. I don't know if I like it yet so far. I'm a little bit disappointed. We're just walking up on one side of the ship. I don't think it's quite the middle, but it's where the pub is. So the Ocean's pub. Now, we love this area because you get food, but this is a great place for lunch snacks and pub snacks all throughout the day and night. There's even a bowling alley as well.
Now that looks familiar, because that looks exactly like it is on most other Norwegian ships, like the Breakaway, Ocean's pub with the big screen in the middle. We love Ocean's, and hopefully it quietens down once the cabins are ready, because the cabins are still not ready yet, and they're not ready until 2:30. So we are hoping that it does get a little bit less busy then.
Every video people comment, how can so many people travel luxuriously in times like these? Well, these luxury travelers know the key is having the money working for you, even when you're on the road. A side hustle, a remote job, even maybe a YouTube channel. But whatever your plan is, it's been incredibly challenging. Prices are soaring, and this summer, 4 out of 5 vacationers had to change their plans as a result. That's 4 in 5 of us. So how do we adapt and keep our money working for us? Well, our sponsor, Masterworks, may be able to help. They've already distributed back over $60 million in proceeds to date by giving you access to one of the most unique luxury assets in the world, fine art. This is multi-million-dollar stuff that usually hangs in museums, from icons like Picasso, Banksy, Warhol. While this art was once exclusive to millionaires, Masterworks' art investing platform makes it so you don't have to spend millions of dollars. They've sold 23 paintings to date, including a multi-million-dollar Basquiat just a few weeks ago. With over 900,000 signups, you can check out Masterworks for yourself by using our link in the description or the QR code on screen to get VIP access. Past results are not indicative of future performance and do not include unsold works. Investing involves risk. See important Regulation A disclosures at masterworks.com/CD.
Oh, Spiegel tent.
What the heck is this?
What's a Spiegel tent?
Sounds very German.
I love saying that word. It's very satisfying.
Spiegel.
Spiegel.
Ooh.
Oh my god, this is huge.
What is it?
It's massive. It goes over 2 decks.
Is it some sort of theatre?
Yeah, it looks like a circus ring.
Oh.
Oh, cue the Greatest Showman soundtrack.
I mean, if you've been on a cruise, you know they're going to play the Greatest Showman in one of the shows, don't you? Because they play that in every show. But I'm not sure what this is. I know there was some sort of circus tent on the other ships, but I don't know if it actually runs anymore. So I don't know what they're doing here anymore. We'll find out for you. But yeah, it's quite a small venue as well. And we're just next to the theatre as well. We need to check in and do our muster drill. So on your card, it'll tell you your muster station you have to go to. It's a bit like the safety thing on an aeroplane. And we just basically just need to really quickly check in there just to say we know where our muster station is. Ours is in the theatre, so it's nice and easy. So let's go quickly check in.
It's a bit depressing, isn't it? I think the thing is, though, we're comparing it to the other Norwegian ships, and that's why we're being a little bit more critical with them, because we know what products they have and what they can do. And this just looks very, very dated and old.
So we've just checked in at the Epic Theatre. That's the main theatre on board. Unfortunately, Norwegian made the decision just after COVID to cut all of their big West End / Broadway style shows. So I think it was Priscilla, Queen of the Desert on board, and at one point it was Legally Blonde. But yeah, they've taken it off now, which sucks. So we'll see what entertainment there is on board. We did look at some of the reviews, like we said, and a lot of them complain about the lack of entertainment on board, not just shows, but things like activities. So Norwegian, what are you doing? I guess we'll find out. We've came down to, what are we on, deck 6 now? Oh no, we're on deck 5. So this is like the bottom deck of those 3 main decks on the ship. And it looks like it's a massive art gallery.
I mean, this is probably the biggest art gallery and photo gallery I've seen, because this whole deck is taken up by the art gallery and the photo gallery. Very, very strange. And like I said, there's no lobby for the elevators because it's the art gallery. Really strange.
It's dead on this deck as well, isn't it? So there was one deck that was absolutely rammed, deck number 7 I think it was, and 6 and 5 are absolutely dead.
Yeah, because there's nothing here. Like, it's a bit of an odd layout, really. But did it really have Priscilla, Queen of the Desert on here?
Yeah, it did.
Oh.
It's such an amazing show. I'm absolutely gutted they took all of those shows off.
I love that musical. I would have loved to have seen it, and Legally Blonde, but we did see Legally Blonde on the West End about 20 times, so I don't think we need to see that ever again.
Oh, we found all of the people, guys. They're in the sort of main atrium area. This is similar to the other ships, actually, the breakaway class. So you've got a big screen with some seats. You've got a Starbucks coffee, and then you've got the guest relations desks. This is where you come if you have any problems, and it is rammed. There are huge queues for everything down here. Then at the very end, you have the Taste Restaurant, which is the other main dining room. So there's 2 main dining rooms on board. The Manhattan room, which we saw at the back of the ship, then the Taste dining room, which actually looks quite nice. It's sort of like Sagrada Familia theme, so that Spanish theme that you have in Spain. Gaudi, David tells me. Oh gosh, I sound so uneducated. I've just been through the art area as well. I should know, shouldn't I really? But yeah, Gaudi themed. But yeah, a little bit underwhelmed so far, I've got to say. The Headliners Club as well, which is the comedy club just upstairs, absolutely blooming tiny as well, and that's something we've seen complaints from online as well. So let's continue. I think we might go get some food because we're absolutely blooming starving. Are you, David?
I sure am.
Let's go to the buffet.
We're going to head up for lunch now, but I always find it a novelty to have an escalator on a cruise ship.
I love them, don't you?
It's so... I don't know why I find it so strange to find them on cruise ships, but any ship with an escalator gets my vote.
Bye!
Bye!
It's a free ride, something you don't get very often on Norwegian Cruise Line. The kings and queens of nickel and diming. We'll talk all about that in another video though, because if you know, you know. Oh, I think it's like slowed down. What's it doing? Can it not take my weight? I haven't even been to the buffet yet, guys. I mean, it's only day 1. It should be like this later on in the cruise. If it can't handle me now, what am I going to be like in like 10 days? Crazy or what?
We've done the good old cruise trick of going down to go up, and it's absolutely empty. It skipped that busy deck, which is good. Let's go and get some lunch, shall we? I'm starving.
So we've just sat down in the buffet. Now we are in the last 20 minutes of the buffet. It was very, very busy up there, but thankfully everybody was leaving. As far as selection goes, a little bit disappointing, if I'm honest. It was a little bit small. Now it might be quality over quantity, because we know that the food on Norwegian tends to be good. But there really wasn't that much on offer really. There was a small salad selection and salad station with a few little bits. There was also a pizza section as well, and the pizzas looked really good. And there was also a pasta station, so they will make the pasta for you, so you can pick from a few different ingredients. They'll put it all together into a bowl for you. And then there was a few odd little bits of this and that all around, a bit of meat. You've got fries, an American section with hot dogs and burgers and things like that. You had a small Asian section as well with some Indian food, a little bit of fruit, some dessert, some bread. But overall, guys, the actual offering was very, very small for such a large ship, especially for Norwegian as well. So that is a little bit disappointing. Anyway, we're going to go up, run up, grab some food because we are very, very hungry indeed, because we've got lots to do on this episode and we want to show you all around this very strange ship. So let's get up and grab something to eat, shall we?
So excited. I am so hungry. That was a journey and a half to the ship, and it's worked me up an appetite. So I got a little selection of the daily specials. There was like a chicken, some sort of stew, some salady bits, and some green beans as well. So shall we give this a go? Because it all does look very tasty. My plate does look very, very brown though. I kind of went for 50 shades of brown today, and I should have added a little bit of colour in there, shouldn't I? Let's try this vegetarian creamy mushroom butternut squash stew. Kind of tastes like chicken in white sauce, but instead of chicken, it's butternut squash. It's not bad, to be honest. It actually looked quite nice. Let's try the chicken though. It was like a Greek specialty today, so all the food was like Greek based. Oh my gosh, this is like tough, man. Oh geez, here we go. Well cooked, very tasty, juicy and succulent chicken. That's quite nice. But the thing I'm really excited for is this little vegetarian turnover parcel. Didn't say anything else about it, so it's going to be a complete surprise what is inside. It's like Christmas, like getting a present, but in your mouth.
Is it returned back to the store present?
Oh, return to sender. Or somebody that hates me sent me that present. That is the most tasteless thing I've ever had. It's just got some mush inside. Gosh, you need to up your vegetarian game if that is what you're giving vegetarians, because there wasn't anything else really for vegetarians. But overall, the food I've got is okay, but not much choice. That is the thing I've noticed. There really wasn't much to choose from. But the thing we're going to compare is La Pizza, because it's a staple on every cruise line, and I think it's a good base point to compare things. Is it going to be Disney and Royal Caribbean bad, or is it going to be Princess and MSC good? Let's try it. Looks pretty good from the offset. But it's a pretty decent buffet pizza, I have to say. Nice flavour, lovely burnt charcoal-y taste on the outside, but not too burnt, and nice and soft bread. Pretty good actually.
So what's great is that because it's so busy upstairs, they actually opened one of the specialty restaurants, La Cucina, which is just underneath. And this is a really lovely restaurant with some great views outside. So we've came down here and found ourselves a little corner where it's nice and quiet to film. I got quite a healthy plate, guys. I'm trying to eat a little bit better because we do eat an awful lot of crap on these cruises. So I've got a bit of naughty stuff and a bit of good stuff. So I've got loads of salady little bits. And then on the side, I've got a lovely little Cuban panini toasty. We've got some chicken breast, and then I went for some vindaloo curry, which if you didn't know, is supposed to be really, really hot. So shall we try the vindaloo curry first?
Oh gosh, good luck to me tonight.
Very tasty, but absolutely no spice whatsoever. And they are, it's starting to get warm in one's mouth. There is a little bit of a bite, but not much. It isn't that spicy. Let's try all of this couscous salad. Now, this is far too healthy for me, but it actually looks really good. Now, the salad selection was pretty pathetic, guys. There wasn't really much on offer, which is I'm a bit sad about, because I like piling on all of the bits and loads of ranch sauce afterwards. But apart from tomatoes and cucumber and a bit of quinoa, there wasn't that much.
Lots of bean dishes. There's about 4 types of beans.
Yeah, it was beans all around upstairs, guys. There were about 8 types of different beans. Anyway, I went and got a Cuban sandwich. Let's have a little try. Oh, dust me with flour and call me baked, because that is more like it. Cheesy, porky, cheeky, and lovely bread as well. It's really nice. What a nice little sandwich to have. But yeah, guys, pretty poor compared to some of the big cruise lines, really. It has went downhill over the last few years. Not really a massive selection. We saw a much better selection on the Norwegian Viva and the Norwegian Prima, which so far feels like a completely different cruise line. This ship and everything on it feels so different to Norwegian. So we'll see what this experience is going to be like, shall we? You and me together, because you're coming with us on this experience. So let's finish my lunch. And you as well, obviously.
I was going to say, am I invited?
Well, obviously.
What am I, chopped liver?
Somebody's got to hold the camera, right? Anyway, I'm going to get back to this and we'll show you around the rest of the ship. Oh, tomatoes or tomatoes? What do you say? Let us know in the comment section below. Ooh, it just exploded. So first up, we've got Spice H2O at the very back of the ship. This is an adults only area, and it has a huge screen, a small pool, and a couple of hot tubs as well. Very busy out here as well, guys. Sorry, I'm just trying to stand somewhere where I can't really get anybody in it. But yeah, lots of rubbish around. That's a lot of things that we're seeing. So the tables are just all filled with trash, which is a little bit bad. And my gosh, does it look rough out here? I was saying earlier on that she needs a bit of an update, and she really does, guys. Everything's like rusted and dirty. And that engine is pumping out so much crap. All of these little black flakes and speck keeps landing on us. I think it's soot from the engine, and it's sort of getting in our clothes. It's ruined David's little pulley over jacket, and I've got stains all over my top and my trousers from just being out here a few minutes, so I don't know what's going on there. We did read that the ship has had lots of engine troubles lately, but yeah, the overall appearance of the outdoor areas are really poor. It looks incredibly run down. Even the signs just look so like they need a refresh of paint and things. It just isn't the sort of thing we've become to know from Norwegian Cruise Line, which is a bit disappointing, really.
Oh my gosh. She's rougher than a badger's backside, isn't she?
She's filthy.
She looks rough, really filthy. Everything is just dirty and worn. It's not inviting at all. That Spice H2O area did not look good. The climbing frame looks like it's seen better days. Everything's worn and coming away. And there's even scaffolding covering half the ship as well, which is not what you want on vacation. That doesn't scream pure luxury to me, does it? Unless you're into the rough scaffolding vibes.
Oh, treat yourself. But yeah, even the mats around the climbing frame area, they're all sort of like crumbling away, and they're all really in a rough condition. This doesn't even look safe, some of it, does it? I don't know if I'd want to send my kids up on that climbing wall.
I don't know if I even want to like take my shoes off on this floor. It's absolutely filthy as. It just looks really unsafe, and it doesn't look inviting at all. I mean, on a positive note, it has lots of slides, although only half of them are working. It's got a climbing wall, so it is aimed at families and kids, but I mean, if you want to risk your life on these, go for it. You might not like your kids that much, to be honest, so go for it.
Yeah, so they told us that the slides were not working after final payment because they're trying to fix the engines. Now you might just say, just get on with it, you're on vacation, you're just mourning. Guys, we paid over $4,500 for this cruise for 10 nights. That works out at $500 a night, basically. This is not cheap. And when you're spending your hard-earned cash, we want to help you make the right decisions when it comes to picking the right ship for you and the right vacation for you. And this really is not good enough. Telling us that the slides are broken literally the day after we make the final payment, that is such shoddy customer service. We're not getting any compensation or anything as well. And we know on the previous few cruises, the ship has missed some major ports because of those engine issues like Gibraltar. But yeah, that looks shocking, guys. It looks like it's in such a state, but just the general wear and tear, lots of do not enter signs and do not enter tape. We saw it on the main pool area, which looks like a muddy soup in there. We saw just signs over there saying do not enter. We saw a whole stairway which has got loads of tape around it. It's just awful, really. It's not what we expect on a vacation. We come here to have a really good time and enjoy the beautiful scenery. So Norwegian, why haven't you updated this ship? It just looks awful. We've been on ships, the Norwegian Spirit, which is 10-15 years older than this ship, and it was gorgeous. So why isn't the Epic? I've got to say, I'm just shocked. This ship is an epic failure. There's definitely something wrong with this ship, guys. We've came up another deck and the whole thing is wobbling like jello. You probably can't tell because this has got stabilization, but the whole ship is going. We can hear a lot of clanking and clanging up there, so they're obviously doing some work with the scaffolding. I just can't get over how bad it is. Like, I'm pretty shocked. We get to do a lot of cruises. We saw some bloody fantastic ships and some awful ships. This definitely ranks so far as one of the most awful ones. I want to get off. I'm just not, it's just not nice. It's really horrible. It's absolutely rammed. There's like thousands of people everywhere. It's just not a pleasant experience. And oh, you can have a go at us all you want, but this is just not nice. I would not pay to come on this ship in a million years, and we have. So if we wasted $500 a night, we'll see. Everything might be okay if we don't spend much time on the ship, but still, really isn't good enough, is it? Wobble, 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 wobble. I don't know if you can feel it vibrating. What's that, David?
It's going to need more than a lick of paint to fix this ship.
That's the understatement of the year. Honestly, the state of this ship, oh my gosh, the announcements, guys, like MSC, 5 bloomin' goddamn languages. It is so incredibly annoying. It's fine if they just do very short announcements, but am I actually wishing we were on an MSC ship right now? Because I tell you what, they're a lot nicer than this ship. Every time I keep walking a bit further, I notice new things. Wires hanging off stairs and like live wires everywhere. The floors are absolutely filthy everywhere, just rust-ridden, dirty, nasty, sticky. Oh, it's just horrible. And the bars at the other side of the ship, guys, are so rammed. I think they've got a problem with capacity on this ship because I haven't seen anything like it. We'll be talking about some of those cruise critic reviews later on where a lot of people are saying the same thing. And so far, those reviews are justified. What the actual F, Norwegian? After all of the shambolics of bloomin' COVID-19, and we spent months supporting cruise lines like Norwegian and Royal, saying they're the cleanest places on earth. Can't say that anymore. There's clearly a massive staff shortage here. I'm pretty disgusted, to be honest, guys. I'm absolutely disgusted by this. It's filthy.
That water is green like a pond. I would not be getting that if I was you.
It's cloudy as well, and it has a sign saying that all of the stairs in it are broken. It's just horrible, isn't it, David? Yeah. I'm shocked.
So many tiles missing as well from the pool area. That can't be safe. But oh no, no thanks. Also, it smells like farts. I'm gonna say it. Shall I say it?
Do
Margaritaville.
Yeah.
2. With slides.
And probably a little bit better food. Oh, what's this, David? An elevator to where?
Secret sun deck, I think so. I don't think it's to the Haven area. I mean, I wouldn't be disappointed if it was.
I feel like Charlie's in his chocolate factory.
Yeah, well, Charlie needs to clean his windows though. Look at them.
What deck is it? Where are we going? Deck
15,
18.
18. 15. What's 15? We'll see.
No, we're on 15.
Okay, we're going to 18.
So there's another sun deck up here, but it's just as bloody horrible as the rest of them. It's very quiet though, which is nice. So if you are looking for a hideaway, definitely come to deck 18 via those Willy Wonka elevators. But guys, the floor is just filthy. There's stains, dirt, horrible bits of crap everywhere. Oh, it's just the finishing. It's just like they're trying to polish a turd here and it's not working. It needs bloody ripping out. It really does. The whole thing just needs ripping out and starting again. And I'm sure it should be a wonderful ship then.
How can you let it get to this state? This isn't a budget cruise line. Ben already told you how much we paid for this cruise. This is a mainstream cruise line. And the way they're treating this ship is not the way you should treat a ship. Some of this stuff looks like it's not been cleaned or touched up in absolutely years. It's a real shame, and it's so shocking when you compare it to the other Norwegian ships. I don't understand what's happened here. Just look at the state of the sign for the Posh Beach Club. It's all broken and absolutely falling apart. Very strange. This is a really odd ship. I feel like it's an abandoned ship that we are visiting in the future. Like it used to be something great and it's just this sort of like past that doesn't exist anymore. I don't even know if the Posh Beach Club is still a thing. I've not seen signs for it anywhere. It's supposed to be an extra pay sunbathing area. I'm not too sure if it is still there or not, but judging by that sign, it needs a bit of work. Well, this is different.
This is very different.
This looks like a completely different cruise ship. It's all clean and new. Oh, of course it is. It's the Haven area. So this is the suite only area. And their sign certainly isn't broken. It looks like a brand new cruise ship. Everything's brand new. The carpets look new. The lifts look new. The signage is all brand new. We can have a peek in as well.
It looks gorgeous in there, David. It doesn't even look like the same ship.
That looks like a completely different cruise ship. It's like a Twilight Zone, or they've gone out of phase of reality. That's what the ship used to look like. But the reality is it doesn't look like that anymore. That's pretty shocking actually when you compare the fact they can do that but not the rest of the ship. What is going on?
I'm not really that shocked, to be honest, David. They've obviously cared about all of the people in suites and nobody else. Like you said, it looks so different here. The wood colour's different. It's like an ashy grey wood. Loads of golds and things, brand new signs. You've even got screens on the wall as well. It looks like a completely and utterly different ship. It's speechless, completely speechless. What can I say? Came down another deck to deck 16. The Haven area is huge. You've got the Haven restaurant behind me. Now we can't see in there much because we don't want to invade anybody's privacy because people are paid to go in there. Again, The floor, the carpets, everything looks beautifully finished. It's just absolutely no excuse. If they can fix that, they can fix the rest of the ship for all of us people who can't afford to go in suites every bloody time. Oh my gosh, we've just came to our room for the first time. It gets from worse to even worse, but you're gonna have to hit that subscribe button and the like button to watch this in a future episode. You're not gonna wanna miss it. Anyway, we're gonna come back in about a week's time to share with you what it's like being on this ship, because it's completely unfair for us just to say what the ship's like, just based on the first few hours on board. So we'll see you in about a week or so, where we'll have more food, experiences, and we'll give our full and brutal honest opinion on the ship. Bye-bye. They say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Well, I am the beholder, and this ship is not bloomin' beautiful. I feel a bit bad calling her ugly, guys, but she really is. She's just a ship, so we can't hurt her feelings. Now, why is she known as one of the ugliest cruise ships in the world? Well, it's because of her very odd shape. She is very boxy and quite top and front heavy as well, because you have a lot of the big suites and cabins at the front of the ship, and they've kind of just been piled on and on above the bridge. So she's also known as the Lego ship because of her shape, because she looks like a kid has made her out of Lego, and that's how they designed her. Now the back as well is quite ugly. It's very flat, it's very harsh. It's just a vertical line down at the very back. So she has no like smooth curves or shapes like some other ships. Norwegian's newer ships, the Viva and the Prima, are beautiful on the outside. They are such beautiful, curvy looking ships and really, really gorgeous. But she is just known as the very ugly ship. You'll definitely know if you dock next to her in port, because she sticks out like a sore thumb. A very sore thumb indeed. This ship, like we said, we're complaining a lot, needs a massive makeover. And honestly, once she goes through dry dock, which is planned in 2025, fingers crossed, because it keeps changing, hopefully they send her in for a really big dry dock where they're going to rip everything out, all of the carpets, the furnishings, replace all of the wall panels and things like that. And honestly, after that's been done, we can imagine her being a really good ship. The problem is, they've let it get into a right state. They've left this far, far too long. They're charging people full price to come on this cruise, and that's our issue with it. Would we say we'd never cruise on this ship again? No, because we want to see what it's like after the refit, and you never know, it might be 1,000 times better. It's very typical of Norwegian to do this. Their CEO was even bragging just last week that they're charging the highest prices that they have ever done. I mean, bragging, how bad is that, guys? So they're trying to squeeze and eke every single penny with us. We haven't mentioned it yet, but the upselling on this cruise has been absolutely insane. It has been constant. Countless messages through our phone in the cabin, countless messages on the app, so many pieces of paper every single day trying to sell us things. It is absolutely insane. We were even having a meal in a specialty restaurant the other night, and they tried to upsell us to book another cruise. Things like you've got trivia, which is just for Norwegian upselling. It's really crazy. They're pushing things far too far. They need to really fix the ships first, and it could be a product that really works. We have some definite thoughts about this ship. We really, really do. First of all, we've got to say, why is there only one of this type? Because there's only one Epic class ship in the world. This is because Norwegian did originally order 2 ships, and they actually put in an option for a 3rd ship. The ship was being built in STX, France, so that's in Saint-Nazaire. We've actually visited that shipyard a few times, and it's amazing. They had some big arguments with the shipyard trying to put the price up, so they cancelled all of the future ships and never ever went with them again. So all of their future ships have been built in basically in Italy and Germany in 2 of the different shipyards. So it must have been quite a nasty little fallout, that. But yeah, we can see why there is only one as well, because there only needs to be one in the world. Trust me, because this ship has some huge problems.
So I don't know what is going on with this cruise, but most of the passengers are absolutely, I'm going to say it, faced. There is a general consensus on this ship that this is a little bit of a booze cruise. Mid-afternoon, we've seen people that are not just 2 sheets to the wind, they're about 20 sheets to the wind. I don't understand why this has happened, because it wasn't a cheap cruise. I know you do get a drinks package included with the free at sea, so that maybe is attracting a little bit of a rowdy crowd. But oh my gosh, we have seen people drunk from morning till night. Honestly, don't get me wrong, girls just want to have fun, and they can. I mean, I like a cocktail or 2 or 3 or 4. but not at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Honestly.
Yeah, we've got no problem with having drinks, obviously. We love to have a drink. It's just all of the rowdy, really, really loud, abrasive people, like screaming and shouting and stumbling over each other. It's just not been that pleasant. Now here comes the second problem. This ship is so overcrowded, it is not even funny. It's completely full with about 4,400 people on board, and you can't get a seat anywhere. You've got to wait ages for drinks. We've waited 40 minutes for drinks before and had to try 3 or 4 different bars just to get served. It really is a pain in the neck, and seriously something you just don't want to have on holiday. I hate complaining, but it's just the truth, guys. It's one of those things that makes your holiday not quite as good. Trying to find somewhere quiet, somewhere to relax and chill out before your meal. But there's just lines everywhere and it's just so jam-packed. It's just not a nice experience. It really isn't. And just below you can see the entrance to the main dining room. And even there with bookings, you've got really long lines. So we've waited like 20, 30 minutes for meals in the past over the last week, which is really annoying. I haven't seen quite anything like it for a long time. You always get busy ships. Even on those massive mega ships, we haven't seen anything like this. Icon of the Seas was quiet compared to this. I just don't know where all the people are going. We're going to go try and find somewhere a little bit quieter for a drink just before our dinner, because we have got an amazing dinner coming up and we can't wait to share that with you. But yeah, super busy. You can see behind me all of the lines. There's loads of them, a massive line all the way across the ship.
So while we try and find a space to go for a drink and we just pass in at the main dining room, let's talk about the dining. Do you know what? Overall, the food on here has actually been pretty good. Buffet selection's a little bit sparse, but the food was pretty decent. Main dining room as well was a good main dining room. Service is a little bit slow in places. But we did some specialty restaurants during this cruise because we had the free at sea package. And actually they were very good. I mean, comparing them to the other cruise lines in a similar vein, better than Royal Caribbean, I would say. So, food on board, been pretty good. It's just really frustrating sometimes, especially when you've made a reservation, for example, for the main dining room or for the noodle bar, that you've got to wait in long lines, or you're going to struggle getting a reservation. Yeah, it's not exactly free at sea because you're going to have to really book everything when you get on board. And that's our biggest tip for these types of ships, not just this ship in particular. Royal Caribbean ships, Norwegian ships, download the app, make sure you book everything you want, all of the entertainment, all of the food, everything like that. There we go, guys, we've got some of those very loud people again, drunk people. It's only 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but yeah, make sure you download the app, book everything, all of the entertainment. It's all sold out on this cruise already. We got on and tried to book about an hour after we got on, and all of the shows had sold out. So we've had to do everything standby, which is super annoying. The big show on here was Burn the Floor, which was a really good show, big production, and everybody on board seemed to absolutely love it as well. But that's your only big production. Apart from that, there's been very little entertainment and everything else has been subpar. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, and there's been nothing on the Spiegel tent at all. And we have to say, we're approaching middle age now, guys. The entertainment is so old for us, it's not even funny. Elvis, the Beatles, just not what we want to see. It really isn't. We appreciate that music and we like some of it, but we don't want it every single blooming night. Finally got a seat in Oceans. It's actually quite quiet in here. And one thing that we do love is Oceans on a cruise ship. It is fantastic. 24-hour food, which is really good. We really appreciate that. We did have a meal here the other day and it was very good as well. So food hasn't been a problem. We can still sing our praises basically about the food. It's just everything else really. Finally. It's not the crew's fault, guys. They're going as fast as they can. It is just so busy at them bars. It's about 3 people deep to get in. I don't know what it is, right? But why do they always place seats at bars? I never got that. I've never ever got that, because how are you supposed to get a drink when there's people sat at the bar? Just one of those things that I've never understood. Oh my gosh, David, that took you 22 minutes and 35 seconds. We've got dinner in about 8 minutes. The crew are so lovely. It's not a crew problem, guys. The crew are so friendly, lovely, chatty, just very nice crew. Just not enough of them and far too many people at all of the bars. Hopefully you can hear us because it's very loud, but we're going to have to start heading for dinner and we'll talk about those cruise critic reviews and see if they're true, plus something that's just absolutely disgusting after our dinner. But let's head and get some Brazilian. Right, cheers guys, got my gin and tonic, no lime, cheers. Oh, I'm starving guys. Head up to Moderno.
We got 2 free meals with our free at sea package. So if you didn't know, most NCL packages come with things like the drinks package, a little bit of Wi-Fi, a little bit of shore excursion credit, and those 2 meals. And because we're platinum as well with Norwegian on their loyalty scheme, we also get 2 extra free specialty meals, which is very good. Now I say they're free, but we paid for them in plenty of cruises in the past, but it's not bad, right? Join the loyalty scheme when you're on a cruise ship. Really, really worth it if you cruise a lot. Oh, we're walking through the Maltons whiskey bar again. Oh my gosh, it's so much quieter than it was earlier on. Now, it isn't all doom and gloom, guys. We've actually had a really fantastic time, and that's because of the itinerary. It has been an amazing itinerary with 9 different ports. It's been fantastic. We visited some amazing, amazing places. Santorini, Mykonos, Olympia, Malta, Sicily, a few places in Italy. It has been absolutely wonderful, and that really has saved it a little bit for us. If there was more than one sea day, I think I might have lost it because it isn't a great place to be on board, but it's took us to some amazing places, and we've made loads of really good memories and happy memories, so that's been a real nice thing.
So we came to Moderno, which is the Brazilian churrascaria. I think is that how you pronounce it?
That's very impressive.
Is it? So it's the Brazilian restaurant on board. If you've been to these before, there's some of these on land as well. Essentially, you have a huge salad bar, which is your first course, and you can choose as much as you want from that. And then your second course is a ton of meat. It's basically just constant meat. And you have a little card on your desk. Red means I'm done, I'm tapping out, whereas green means give me more. I want more meat. And that is what it is. They've got lots of different types of meats, from pork to chicken to beef, and then they also have a dessert at the end. So my biggest tip for this is bring your stretchy pants, because you're going to need it. We're looking down on the main dining room, and they've actually got a dinner show on tonight. It's not an extra cost, just on certain nights of the cruise they'll do like a burn the floor dance. So it's about half an hour, and it's the cast of Burn the Floor during the dinner. So if you're in dinner at that time, you're in for a little bit of a treat. We're looking down on it, although the windows are like so warped that it's kind of like really hard to watch it. It's making me feel a little bit sick, like I'm looking, like almost like I've had too many cocktails and I'm not seeing it quite right. Anyway, let's tuck into the food, shall we?
Also, the salad bar is really, really good. They've got some lobster bisque, lots of little pieces of cheese and hams and vegetables, lots of fixings as well. Mozzarella, you've got sushi, you've got different types of salad, potato salad, shrimp salad, 3 bean salad, couscous salad, green beans, and loads of little bits and bobs to make a nice little salad meze plate. This is so much better than the buffet upstairs. Like we said earlier on, the buffet, not good on the ship. There just isn't much of a choice, and it just stays the same every single day. So I want to come here every day just for the buffet because it looks absolutely wonderful. Right, I'm going to waste no more time. I'm going to get cracking in and get me some salad. Who would have thought I would have ever said that? Me and salad? Just doesn't go together, does it? Cheers, David.
Ben.
What have you got?
Got Brazilian rum cocktail with lime. Oh, Jesus. That's tart. More tarts than a French bakery. Absolutely blooming delicious though, but very, very tart. Give me a kick up the backside for this meal, I'll tell you right now. Got my first course. I started off slow. You've got to pace yourself with this one because it is going to be a long meal. I went for the lobster bisque. And I can't complain about the presentation because I did it myself, and I even threw in a couple of croutons in there as well. Do you know, sometimes lobster bisque is really salty, but this one isn't at all. Very nice, rich tomato flavour with a nice lobster flavour afterwards. I like how there's so much different choice. I'm really excited to try everything else as well.
I am beyond excited, guys. Letting you into a little information here. This isn't the first time we've been here on this cruise. It's the second, because we loved it so much. I have to say the service is absolutely wonderful as well. It's so good. A lovely waiter. Very good indeed. Oh my gosh, I've gone and got everything from the salad bar, and it looks absolutely scrumdiddlyunctious. Got to start with the beetroots first of all. I've said it before, but I'm a big lover of the beets. They're amazing. So earthy. Taste it, I've just taken a bite of the mud from the earth. Not really, really delicious. Oh my gosh, everything is so good. This little fried cheese, I mean, you can't go wrong with fried cheese, can you? Look at it, it's got some pesto sauce in it. Let's do it the nice way. Could this brie any better? Ooh, I forgot to say we've got the bread as well.
Oh, you forgot about those cheesy balls of goodness.
and they've came in bowl form. I am very happy. Look at these, so they're little puff bowls with cheese in them, and they look very light. Now they do have a Brazilian name, but I've completely forgot what they were called. Oh, yeah, good. Balls of fun. Fun balls. Love them.
It's almost like a cheese straw and a bread bun.
I feel like
a baby.
I feel like a hamster.
So they even have sushi on the buffet. Is that like a Brazilian thing? Because all the Brazilian sort of restaurants like this I've been to, both on cruises and on land, they always have a little sushi section. And I don't know why. If someone can comment in the sections below and let us know, I'd love to know. They had 3 types of sushi. They had a crab, a salmon, and a vegetable one. And I kind of went for one of each. This is my favourite type of food where you can get a little bit of everything. I love that. I'm going to go in for the rest of the sushi.
Oh, it's the exciting part of the meal. I've flipped my card, guys. I'm all green to go, and I've been getting meat thrown at my face every few minutes. It's fabulous. First up, we've got some chicken, so Parmesan chicken breast, and some lovely bacon chicken as well. Really, really delicious and just mouth-wateringly lovely. I've had some pork as well. Cheeky. Some pork loin, pork belly, and we've got some sausages as well, which is fabulous, and lots of different types of beef as well. I'm going to go out here mooing like a farmyard animal, I think. I'll fit right in on the farm, won't I? But very good indeed. I've ate so much meat, I'm going to get off this ship and be protected by PETA, because I'm basically an animal. Oh my gosh. Guys, I'm quickly becoming full. I've got so much meat on my plate, it's not even funny. We also got some sides as well, so it came with some lovely mashed potatoes, rice, beans, mushrooms, and some yucca sticks, which are truly yucky. They're not very nice at all, but the meat is delicious, it really is. Very tender, very barbecuey. I've got the hiccups as well. Love it. But yeah, one is absolutely stuffed, as you should be on a cruise. But yeah, very good. Got to give a big shout out to the service again. Fantastic, as it's been all around the ship. It really hasn't been a problem. It's been the normal good service that you get on Norwegian Cruise Line, which separates it from other cruise lines. It really does. And it's just a shame about the ship, really, because everything else is pretty good. Oh, this is the best bit in my opinion, guys. It's the grilled pineapple covered in like cinnamon and spices. It smells like Santa Claus coming down the chimney. Wonderful. Let's have a little try. Absolutely freaking delicious. Oh, it's so Moorish and so sweet. It is literally like the dessert, but there is a dessert as well to come. I don't know if I can handle it. We might have to share one, David, but that, oh, chef's kiss, delicious. Well, that was just bloomin' wonderful. It makes me feel better about what isn't good on the ship. Hopefully you can always find a little bit of a silver lining in a cloud, let's just say. But really good. Ricky, our server, again, was fantastic. For dessert, we had the Tres Leches chocolate cake. Oh my gosh, it was so big and so rich, but it was very tasty indeed. I do love a bit of Tres Leches. Now, let's go outside and talk about some of the other things, especially those cruise critic reviews, because we need to see, were they right? Or were people just being a little bit fussy for no reason? So we came outside and David's like, do we have to go outside because I'm going to get coated in soot and oil and things from the engine because it still isn't working properly. Let's get towards the front of the ship, guys, where we're not going to be, oh gosh, that's a lot of smoke coming out of the engine, where we're not going to be covered in crap and our clothes ruined, because we can see lots of black marks all over the floor, like little specks of black soot. Oh, it's beautiful out here. Gorgeous weather in the Mediterranean this time of year. We've travelled at the end of August and the weather has been absolutely stunning. Not too hot, not too humid, but beautiful, lovely and warm, just gorgeous. And I love this time of night. Beautiful.
Ben told me to walk towards him. It's going to be a little bit of an effort after that. I think I might wobble towards you, Ben. Is that okay? I'll do a little bit of a wobble. So we want to highlight again the state of the outside of this ship. It's filthy, it's dirty, and it's completely worn down. Now that is some of the biggest comments we've seen on all them cruise critic reviews, and we have to completely agree with them. It doesn't look like a Norwegian ship. We said that on the first day, and we still say that now. It looks like a ship that's about 30 years old and is a budget cruise line. Maybe the ship used to be a ferry. That's the vibes that I'm getting from this. It just looks incredibly poor. So I don't know what's going on. Don't know why they're doing this, why they haven't updated the ship, why they haven't kept up the maintenance on it, but it is really showing, and for us it's the biggest shock we've had on this trip.
Let's take a look at some of the headlines. Talking about lines, 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 lines. We've been on 17 cruises, including this one. By far the worst. We had to wait an hour to get into any of the shows. We couldn't get into the Cavern Club, and there was no seats anywhere. Confirmed, completely agree with that. Do not go on the Norwegian Epic, the worst cruise I've ever taken in my life. First of all, it's very dirty and some areas haven't had cleans in what looks like years. There's stains everywhere. Another thing is that the workers are rude, specifically the bartenders. Completely disagree with that. I agree it's dirty, but the crew have been absolutely lovely. Another one saying don't spend your money on this. 45-minute wait to get in everywhere. We were waiting 20 minutes on average to get a drink. We waited 22 tonight, so we agree with that. And the app was absolutely useless. It wasn't showing us things we could book. We had the same issue with the entertainment, for example. It said we couldn't book, then we turned up and it said it had sold out. It goes on and on and on. And the funny thing is, if you go back a few years, the reviews weren't like this. So there's obviously been significant cuts and lack of investment in their current ships. We've been on some of their newer ships like the Norwegian Viva, and they are immaculate. Yes, they're newer ships, but there shouldn't be such a difference in product. We are severely, severely disappointed in the ship. It is just as bad, if not worse, than we thought it was going to be. And yes, it's an epic failure. This ship needs a lot of work to get up to a good standard.
So unfortunately, we have to say we do agree with all those cruise critic and TripAdvisor reviews. The ship is not very good, but there is much better ships to choose from. And that's what we want to highlight in this video, and it's the main reason that we do this channel, because for the same price of this cruise, there's other ships in the Norwegian fleet and on other cruise lines that you could sail on to have a much better experience. So that is really what we're trying to highlight.
And you know what, guys? If this thing's ugly behind you, just look at this behind me. Are we any luckier than this? Yes, the ship isn't perfect, and like David said, much better options. But just look, how bloody gorgeous is that? We're the luckiest people in the world still. Coming towards the end of our cruise, the scaffolding has finally came down. It's been up the whole time. And to be fair, there is less soot than there was at the beginning of the ship, so maybe that was just an issue on our cruise. But yeah, it's looking a lot cleaner up there now, which is great, instead of all of the scaffolding. That was a bit worrying, wasn't it? Our cabin's on deck 13, which means it's just under the garden cafe. I have to say, the location of our cabin is absolutely fantastic. Now, if you want to see inside of it, and trust me, you do, for all of the wrong reasons, make sure you subscribe, because we're going to be bringing that episode next week, and it's one not to be missed. We also have to say a huge big thank you to all of our patrons as well. You too can become a patron, and in return we give you loads of extra stuff, like extra episodes and fun behind the scenes content that nobody else will get to see, early access to our videos, so you get to see them before anybody else, and they're going to be completely ad-free as well, so no annoying ads on there. And we also do a monthly Zoom call. You can become a patron by clicking the link in the description section below, and we have to say a huge massive thank you to all of our patrons, because without you we would not be able to create this content to be honest, transparent, fun, and all of that stuff. So I guess we'll see you next time. Happy cruising. David's miles away, look.
Opening the cabin door.
He's running ahead. I've got a drink in my hand. David, the cabin, what do you think? Oh, no words.